With this Fox News alert, and there are brand new developments right now on claims that the Immigration and Customs Department is starting to grant amnesty right now to thousands of illegals who are currently facing possible deportation. Now, we received initial reports yesterday that an order had gone out to drop deportation cases that are already pending right now. They already captured the illegals against illegals who are not considered criminal threats. That order to dismiss those cases reportedly coming directly from ICE Chief John Morton. Critics lashing out, already calling the move backdoor amnesty. But in just the last couple of hours, ICE trying to tamp down the charges. Greg Jarrett with our reporting live from our New York City newsroom. Greg, what do we know?
Meg, there is allegedly this memo from an assistant secretary at ICE which sets forth this brand new rule. If you're here illegally, but you haven't committed any serious crimes, well, your deportation case may be dismissed. We haven't confirmed it, and ICE won't deny it on the record. But if true, this would appear to be de facto amnesty. Now, the Department of Homeland Security is reviewing thousands of cases, and the Houston Chronicle and a television station in Houston both reporting that DHS is moving to dismiss some cases against illegals who have no serious criminal records. So instead of deporting illegals, as the law demands, they would get to stay here free and clear. An immigration lawyer says he's familiar with that memo.
This is going to allow the Department of Homeland Security to focus upon people who we want them to focus upon. Criminals, terrorists, not family members, not people here that have been here for a very long period of time.
You know, the law doesn't say that. It doesn't say that only illegals who are terrorists or murderers or criminals will be prosecuted and deported. So critics are calling this a concerted effort by the feds to circumvent the law and create a backdoor amnesty program. U.S. Senator John Cornyn thinks it's wrong.
I think our whole system is broken. We need to have a law that can be respected and will be enforced across the board in a uniform way, and right now we don't have that.
Cornyn blames President Obama and his failed promise to reform immigration. So who authored this memo? Well, allegedly, his name is John Morton, Assistant Secretary of Immigration and Customs Enforcement. An hour ago, I talked to the Director of Public Information for ICE, Brian Hale. I specifically asked, is it the policy that if you are here illegally and you're not causing a problem or committing serious crimes, your deportation case may be dismissed? He declined to answer on the record. He wanted to talk on background, off the record, and so forth. And, you know, Meg, that gets reporters into a lot of trouble. It's often unreliable. I just don't do that. I'm an on-the-record kind of guy. But I will say this. Local attorneys in Houston telling the Chronicle there they were stunned when they went to court expecting that their clients were going to be deported, and the cases against their clients, illegals, were suddenly dropped. So I'm not sure who's telling the truth here.
Right. And I looked at that same article, Greg, and here's just a quote from one of them. This one attorney said the court, they were terminating all the cases that came up. It was absolutely fantastic. Yeah. We're all calling each other saying, can you believe this? They're thrilled. These are the lawyers who are representing the illegals. In the meantime, you tried to call ICE. I understand that they sent you a written statement. What do they write in their written statement?
Yeah, I talked with two people at ICE. Again, they want to talk off the record and on background and so forth. That, in my judgment and experience, is unreliable. They sent me, they said, we're going to have to stick to our statement, and they sent it to me. In relevant part, let's put it on the screen. ICE is not engaged in backdoor amnesty and has placed more people in immigration proceedings this year than ever before. ICE has implemented a new policy to expedite the removal of criminal aliens and those who pose a danger to national security by ensuring these cases are heard. Now, you'll notice, Meg, that doesn't answer the principal question of whether those without criminal records get their cases dismissed and get to stay.
They ignore that entirely. They speak only to, yes, we have a policy of deporting the criminals first, which we know. But the question is whether, and we're not talking, Greg, about illegals who are wandering out there and, okay, ICE isn't going to prioritize going to find those people with no criminal records. Right. We're talking about illegals who are already under arrest in federal custody who have deportation cases going on. The allegation today, which is new, is those cases are now being dropped because ICE has chosen not to pursue them and instead is going to pursue only the criminals, the so-called criminals who are in custody, right?
Yeah, exactly that. Now, some may get what's called relief because they've either been victimized in some way or they are helping the government, law enforcement, on other criminal cases and so forth. So they may get relief, and that may be standard operating procedure. But, you know, these lawyers in Texas are talking about other people, their clients, who are having the cases dismissed against them. It's curious.
There was a memo that came out, this draft memo that came out from a different department not long ago suggesting that the administration was going to do something like this, and they denied that was the plan. Right. And now you've got this stunning report out of Houston, reporting, I should say. Greg Jarrett, great job. Thank you so much. Well, Senator Chuck Grassley has been challenging the administration on immigration enforcement. And moments ago, he told us the following, quote, actions like this demoralize ICE agents who are trying to do their job and enforce the law. Unfortunately, it appears that this is even more evidence that the Obama administration would rather circumvent Congress and give a free pass to illegal immigrants who have already broken our law by entering the U.S. without proper documentation. We're going to have much more